Darkness fell on Camp Scott, a place that was supposed to be a sanctuary for young girls, a place where they could learn, grow, and create memories that would last a lifetime. But on this fateful night, the camp was shrouded in an ominous gloom. A blanket of unease settled over the Oklahoma wilderness, as if the very air was thick with foreboding. The trees, usually whispering secrets of nature, stood silent, their branches heavy with the weight of the impending tragedy. A storm raged, its fury echoing the terror that unfolded within the canvas walls of tent number 8. The wind howled through the camp and the rain pounded relentlessly, as if nature itself was mourning the events that were about to transpire. 3 young Girl Scouts, their laughter silenced, their dreams shattered, lay victims of a horror unimaginable. The innocence of Lori Lee Farmer, Doris Denise Milner, and Michelle Goose was brutally taken away, leaving behind a void that could never be filled. The Oklahoma Girl Scout murders, a chilling tale etched in the annals of American crime, remain unsolved, a haunting reminder that some wounds time cannot heal. This is their story, a story that continues to haunt the memories of those who were there and those who have heard of the tragedy. This tranquil summer camp, nestled in the heartland of America, transformed into a scene of unimaginable cruelty. What was once a place of joy and laughter became a site of sorrow and despair, forever marked by the events of that night. 3 innocent lives, Lori Lee Farmer 8, Doris Denise Milner 10, and Michelle Goose 9 were brutally extinguished, leaving behind a community paralyzed by fear and a nation grappling for answers. Their smiles, once bright and full of life, now only exist in photographs and memories. The community, once tight-knit and full of hope, was left in a state of shock and grief. Candlelight vigils were held, tears were shed, and prayers were whispered into the night, but nothing could bring back the lost innocence of those 3 young girls. The question echoes through the years: who could commit such a heinous act? Detectives and investigators pored over evidence, searching for clues, but the answers remained elusive. The mystery of what happened that night at Camp Scott continues to baffle and haunt, a dark chapter in the history of American crime. As the years have passed, the memories of Camp Scott have faded for some, but for others, the pain remains as fresh as ever. The camp, once a place of joy, now stands as a somber reminder of the fragility of life and the darkness that can lurk in the most unexpected places. Memorials have been erected, and the names of Lori, Denise, and Michelle are etched in stone, a permanent tribute to their short lives. The community continues to honor their memory, hoping that one day, the truth will come to light and justice will be served. Until that day comes, the story of the Oklahoma Girl Scout murders remains a poignant reminder of the vulnerability of innocence and the enduring quest for justice. The serene forest that once echoed with the laughter of children now stands silent, a testament to the lives lost and the mystery that endures. Camp Scott, nestled amidst the rolling hills of Mays County, Oklahoma, was a sanctuary. This camp, with its lush greenery and tranquil surroundings, offered a perfect escape from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. The natural beauty of the area was breathtaking, with dense forests, clear streams, and an abundance of wildlife. It was a place where one could truly connect with nature and find peace. Generations of Girl Scouts forged friendships, embraced adventure, and learned amidst its serene beauty. The camp was a haven for young girls, a place where they could be themselves and grow in confidence. They hiked through the woods, sang songs around the campfire, and shared stories under the stars. The bonds formed here were strong and lasting, built on shared experiences and mutual support. Established in the 1920s, the camp was a tapestry of laughter, camaraderie, and shared experiences. Over the decades, it became a cherished tradition for many families, with mothers and daughters and even grandmothers sharing their own stories of Camp Scott. The camp's history was rich and vibrant, filled with memories of joy and adventure. Summer days were filled with the aroma of campfires, the melody of sing-alongs, and the thrill of exploring nature's embrace. The girls learned to appreciate the simple pleasures of life, from roasting marshmallows over an open fire to discovering the wonders of the natural world. Each day brought new adventures and opportunities for growth. The camp, named after a prominent Tulsa businessman, embodied the spirit of adventure and self-reliance. It was a place where girls were encouraged to push their boundaries and discover their strengths. The rustic buildings and well-worn trails were a testament to the countless girls who had passed through, each leaving their mark on the camp's legacy. Girls learned essential life skills, from pitching tents to building fires, fostering a sense of independence and camaraderie. These skills were not just practical, They were lessons in resilience and teamwork. The girls learned to rely on themselves and each other, building confidence and forming bonds that would last a lifetime. The air buzzed with youthful energy, a testament to the camp's ability to create lasting memories. The laughter and joy of the girls were infectious, filling the camp with a sense of happiness and contentment. Camp Scott was more than just a place. It was an experience, a cherished part of growing up for countless girls. It was a place where dreams were nurtured and lifelong friendships were born. Days before tragedy struck, an unsettling feeling descended upon Camp Scott. A series of unsettling incidents, dismissed as pranks at the time, cast a pall over the carefree atmosphere. Supplies went missing, belongings were disturbed, and a chilling discovery sent shivers down the spines of campers and counselors alike. A counselor recounting the events later described finding her belongings ransacked, her belongings strewn across the floor. A sense of unease, a feeling of being watched, pervaded the camp. These incidents, seemingly insignificant, would later become chilling harbingers of the darkness to come. June 12, 1977 dawned like any other day at Camp Scott. The girls, filled with the exuberance of youth, eagerly participated in camp activities. As evening approached, a storm gathered on the horizon, its ominous rumble a precursor to the horror that would soon unfold. The girls, seeking refuge from the downpour, retreated to their tents. In the shadowy confines of tent number 8, Lori, Denise, and Michelle drifted off to sleep, unaware that their young lives were about to be tragically cut short. That night, evil visited Camp Scott, leaving an indelible mark on its history and forever shattering the innocence of a summer night. The storm-ravaged campsite painted a grim picture the following morning. The once lively and cheerful site, filled with laughter and the sounds of nature, had transformed into a scene of devastation. The tents were torn, the ground was muddy, and the air was thick with an eerie silence that seemed to echo the tragedy that had unfolded. The discovery of the girls' bodies, a scene too gruesome to describe, sent shockwaves through the camp and beyond. The campers, who had come for a weekend of adventure and bonding, were now faced with an unimaginable horror. The police quickly cordoned off the area, marking it with yellow tape that fluttered in the breeze, a stark contrast to the vibrant green of the forest. The investigation that followed was meticulous, desperate to bring the perpetrator of this heinous crime to justice. Detectives combed through the site, examining every inch for clues. They interviewed the campers, hoping to piece together the events of the night. The sense of urgency was palpable, as each passing moment felt like a step further from catching the killer. The cause of death, a chilling testament to the brutality inflicted upon the young victims, sent shivers down the spines of seasoned investigators. The autopsy revealed that the girls had suffered severe head trauma, likely caused by a heavy object. The brutality of the attack was evident, and it was clear that the perpetrator had no regard for human life. The murder weapon, a heavy object believed to be a flashlight, was found near the tent, adding another piece to the macabre puzzle. The flashlight, covered in blood, was a grim reminder of the violence that had occurred. It was carefully bagged and tagged by the forensic team, who hoped it would provide crucial evidence in identifying the killer. The scene yielded other clues: articles of clothing, footprints, and a chilling piece of evidence, a fingerprint on a roll of duct tape. The duct tape, found near the bodies, suggested that the girls had been restrained before their tragic end. The footprint, partially obscured by the mud, was photographed and cast, in the hope that it would lead to a suspect. The hunt for the killer had begun. Police search teams, accompanied by dogs, scoured the forest for any additional evidence. The detectives worked tirelessly, driven by the need to bring justice to the young victims and their grieving families. The community, once united by the joy of the camp, now came together in sorrow and determination, hoping that the perpetrator would soon be caught and held accountable for this unspeakable crime.